Hello dear traders, you're watching weekly review of financial markets on Insta TV with me, Anna Kasatkina. The US stock market finished the week on a lower note on the 10th of June. A decline in government bond yields made investors flee risky assets. US stocks were losing ground on Tuesday and Friday on increased worries among investors about consequences of Brexit and the prospects of monetary policies conducted by the European Central Bank and the US Federal Reserve. On the back of such gloomy sentiment, market participants started to buy treasury bills. Therefore, 10-year bond yields dropped to the lowest level in more than a year. The Nasdaq Composite lost 1.3% to finish at 4,894.55. The index failed to hold on to gains and declined by 1% for the week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slid by 0.7% to 17,865.34 with a weekly gain of 0.3%. Only a few of its blue-chip companies traded in the positive territory, including Verizon, Intel and Nike. S&P 500 dropped by 0.9%, falling to as low as 2,096.07. The broad market index registered a 0.1% loss. Companies of the financial sector were the worst performance last week. Stock of financial companies declined by 1.5%. In the first 3 days of the last week, the US stock indices were on the rise, with the S&P 500 heading towards a record high. However, two main contributors to the performance of the financial markets, a weak US dollar and rising oil, changed their movement completely. The economic statistics released on Friday did not have a significant impact on trading. The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index amounted to 94.3 points, beating expectations for a 94 points reading. The background for the New York session was rather pessimistic, as the Asian trading floors shifted lower while European markets incurred sharp losses. Oil prices witnessed a considerable decline as well. Besides, shares of social networking service Twitter lost 3.3% after the company reported that accounts of millions of users were at risk of being taken over after an unauthorized publication of usernames and passwords. Meanwhile, Safari's bio turned out to be among the best performing companies listed on the Nasdaq Composite at the end of Friday's trading. Shares of the biotech company soared by 86.3% after its study drug showed promising results in a clinical trial. Safari's shares rose by 69.23% at Friday's close. And this concludes the weekly review of financial markets prepared for you by Insta TV team. See you next week. Bye.